Okay, we are going to get started with adding text to a Photoshop document. I go down my tools and I hover over these tools. It gives me an overview. Just like in Pixlr, it will tell me a little bit about what it does. We're going to start first with just our type tool, and when I click out here in my window, rather than asking me if I want text, it just automatically puts a piece of the lorem ipsum text in there. This is just placeholder text. Remember not to try to resize the box or make a box to put your text in. Photoshop is more about using singular layers of text. So we're going to go ahead and we're just going to type our word right in now. This looks like some kind of an advertisement for a game, so we're going to put play now. I'm going to then click on my move tool up here on the top, and I'm going to place this where I want it. You'll notice that when I get text, it will give me a text layer, and the text layer automatically gets named. If I look, I see I have another text layer here. This text layer has nothing on it, so I'm going to go ahead and toss that for right now. That was text layer I put on there a few minutes ago. I'm going to come back out to this text layer, and up here is where I have my tools. Now you'll notice the tools look very much different from the tools in Pixlr. We don't have the automatic outlining and things of that nature. So I'm just going to pick a font that I have. You can look through your fonts and see what's best for you. And I'm going to move this again, place it, and then I'm going to click again. And over here is where I would make my size. So you can see that I have typed in a custom size. I had that previously when I had this document open. I'm going to change this so that you can see that this font can be changed to any size. I'm going to make this pretty big and bold, almost to hit my picture over here. Another option when you're using text is that you can resize it with the handlebars. And if I hold the Shift key down, I can resize it. Let's say I want this to be a little taller. Notice now it's making those letters a little taller. Need to be careful with this function because you don't want to lose the original look of that particular font, but you don't want to stretch it out of shape. So I have these letters the way I like them. Your next step would be to choose a color. I think I'm going to make it just a little dark orange, a little red. And now we have some of the same options we had when we were watching the Pixlr tutorial. So I can come over here. I have my text layer selected, and I can click on this. So as you notice, when I darken, that orange gets a little darker. I can see the background, some of the background coming through. Multiply, it multiplies the colors together. Color burn, it actually is burning that color into the background, making it really deep and rich. So you're going to, just like we did in Pixlr, go through these, find one that you think works with your picture, and I'm going to go with this one. Now we have our text. Don't be afraid in Photoshop when we're making posters, we're making an impact. Don't be afraid to make your letters nice, big, and bold. I can do some other things, like I could make a copy of that. I could take that copy, and maybe I want the copy to be the original color. And I'm just going to move this just a little bit. I'm going to nudge it using my arrow keys so it's not too much overlap, but just a little bit. And I'm going to take this bottom copy, and I'm going to take it back to its original normal color. And so you can see a little bit of the difference now. I'm getting a completely different look. I am also going to bring the transparency down on this. That is in this right above the layers. So again, this is in a little bit of a different place than Pixlr. And I'm going to bring that down so I can still see through. Anything that will give you a little bit of an impact will work. Because I want to put some kind of curved text down here in the corner, perhaps a logo, the name of a company, what the game is rated, and we want to put it in some kind of a circular text. We can do this using a couple of tools over here in our toolbar. Our first tool is going to be the ellipse tool. So if I hover over these, I see that this is the ellipse tool. You may or may not see this. When you come down here, it may be the rectangle tool, but you'll notice it in this tiny whiny corner, there is a little bitty dot or a little triangle. That means that there are other tools. So all of these that have something out here on the corner, those all have other tools. If I click and I hold, it will show me the submenu and what tools I have a choice of choosing from. We're going to choose this ellipse tool. I'm going to come out here to my canvas and I'm going to hold the shift key down. The shift key allows me to make a perfect circle. If I was not holding the shift key down, I could make more of an oval. Now I'm going to go back up to get my move tool at the very top. I'm going to try to pick it up. You'll notice when I try to pick it up, it actually is grabbing my bottom layer. This happens often. So what you would want to do is come over here. I know I'm moving this layer. It's the one that's highlighted. So I'm going to lock that down with this little lock. And I'm going to go ahead and lock a couple of other layers down just so that that doesn't happen if I move it across other layers. Typically you won't have to lock all your layers down, but you might want to lock down the ones that are moving on you. So now you can see that I can freely move this circle without the other layers trying to move with it. And then I'm going to grab my text tool. And with my text tool, I'm going to come out here and you'll notice when I hover out here where the text tool is, I get a little bitty curvy. The text tool changes in what it looks like. If I go in too far, I get a circle. If I'm in the circle, it's going to try to fill the circle with my text. If I'm out here on the outside of the circle and I click, it's going to give me text around the circle. Now remember how big my text was in the last text we made. It's making it that same size. So I'm going to bring this text way, way down. I'm going to start at 72. And then again, I'm not going to erase the text. I'm simply going to start typing the text I want in there. I'm going to click on this and then I'm going to move it. Now the cool thing is I can lift this text literally off of that circle. It simply made the text around the circle while I was typing it. Now you don't want to move it off the circle until you are sure that you like it. For example, you may want to rotate the text so that it is even. So you notice how it is higher here and lower here. With that, I'm just going to click both of these and I'm going to give both of them a little bit of a rotate. And my rotation is when I hover out here beyond my handlebar, I get that little curved arrows. This is how I can rotate it. So now you can see I've put my text. It looks really nice. It's in a curve. And the great thing about this is if I don't really want that circle there, I can take this and I can just drag it to this little trash can in the corner. And now I have curved text, but I do not have the circle that is interfering with it. So you could play around with this tool too. What would be, again, really cool is you could come out, you could really bring in other ellipse out here or any shape, and then you could make this begin to look like a real logo. So I could put maybe a square across here and type something inside that square. Maybe I put to rated T for teen or whatever it looks like, whatever you would want to add into this box. Up here I see when I'm on that layer, I see that my outline is black, so maybe I don't really want an outline on this at all. This is the no outline, the red line, but I am going to fill that box with the color, and we are going to fill it with this orange. So I'm going to match this orange. This is where I would use the color picker. This is the tool that's just a few down, and I'm going to pick that color there, zoom in a little bit, And now this is the color that I just made. And now we have a little orange box underneath there. So you can play around with those tools. You're going to save your work and show it to me. For this, I will go over in class how to save your work and where to save your work. Have some fun with this, and I can't wait to see what you create.